I met my close friend Michaela back in high school in 2015, where I was a junior and she was a freshman. We originally started out as partners for our psychology class, but our relationship grew and we saw each other as close friends, and at times, a mentor and mentee, since Michaela was interested in pursuing art after high school, just like me. After I graduated, I began my studio art studies at my local university, and a while later, Michaela got accepted into the same art program as me, but chose to start at our local community college to save money, which I completely agreed with and fully supported. After all, there's no shame in going to community college first. Now it's February 2019 at this point. It had been a year since I last got to sit down with Michaela and catch up on the latest events in our lives, given that we've been focused on all our studies. We decided to meet up at this particular Starbucks location since it was a block away from the community's college downtown campus where Michaela's class was at, and it was 3 blocks from the university's School of Art where I was. We arrived and we greeted each other excitedly, and that was when Michaela then introduces her boyfriend at the time, Eric. I recognized him as one of the annoying kids that went on our high school's Japan trip with me, my boyfriend, our 3 friends, and 16 other students back in the summer of 2017. We exchanged greetings, and after a few minutes, Michaela and Eric said their goodbyes since he had to attend his next class at the downtown campus. Michaela and I talked for about 3 hours about anything and everything. I bring up Eric, and that's when Michaela suddenly laid it out on me that he was a complete nutbag. She explained how Eric was this clingy, possessive type of guy who got angry with Michaela with just about anything that had to do with women and art. Eric once got mad at her for drawing a nude model in her figure drawing art class. Michaela tried explaining that it was because art students had to draw the human anatomy in various poses, but he declared it as cheating somehow. He got mad when Michaela and him went to the art museum, and she happened to stare at an artwork of a nude woman. Eric was pretty much calling Michaela a cheater, as well as a closeted lesbian. You would think whether someone is an art person or not, they would understand and even appreciate the arts of the human body. But not Eric. Now, here's where it gets a little contradictory. Now, Michaela's a bit of an anime fan. I often recommend her shows that she would be interested in, and I warn her of other shows that she can tread carefully if she ever chooses to watch. Eric, however, was not like that. He begged and encouraged Michaela to watch the anime Goblin Slayer, and without warning her, she was horrified. Correct me if I'm wrong, but for those who don't know, slight trigger warning here, but I believe there's a scene in the very first episode where a character is raped by goblins. I myself have never seen it, but I heard you can hear and see the blurred out image of the goblins doing the act as it pans away. Eric didn't understand why Michaela didn't like the episode and had refused to watch the show entirely, so he was annoyed that she felt a little sick from the episode. Another contradictory thing about Eric is that while he hates Michaela looking at the human body, he openly shared with Michaela his hentai image collections, with many being underage anime girls. Michaela knew about hentai in general, but she felt disgusted and annoyed at Eric. So it's okay with him to like something that has to do with naked fictional characters, but it wasn't okay for Michaela when it comes to her studies? Michaela's choice in guys had been very poor, but I understand that she's trying to grow and move away from ending up like her mom. I mean, who would have ever thought that this is how Eric was? While Michaela was telling me about Eric and all that was mentioned, she got a text from him. Her eyes then widened in horror. Remember when I said it had been about 3 hours of me and Michaela talking? Well, Eric had texted Michaela asking if she was done with me yet. Turns out, he never even went to class. He walked back to campus to pick up his car, drove back to Starbucks, and then parked at a corner where we couldn't see him from inside. We both went from horrified to pissed. Now in general, you know that if you haven't seen a friend in a really long time, you just want to sit down and chat for a really long time, right? Well, apparently Eric assumed we were just going to be talking for 30 minutes, not 3 hours. He was angry at Michaela, and he was demanding her to get in the car so he can take her home. If I could drive, I would have immediately offered her a ride home, but I didn't have my license yet. Michaela assured me many times, however, and she stated she'll be fine. I walked her to Eric's car. He comes out and says,
"Didn't think it would be a long time for you two to talk."
And he then extends his hand out for a goodbye shake.